So 2024 is officially over, and what a crazy year it was for me. I got sober after 8 years of smoking every day, quit cigarettes, stopped using fentanyl and screaming at microphones in the walls, just kidding about that one. Went from skinny and malnourished as hell to relatively fit and toned, got my first job, then quit because I hated it, and immediately got another job. Quit that job too, because it was way too far from where I lived, and now I'm looking for another job. I started training Muay Thai, going to therapy, and overcoming some of my major issues. Not to mention, the world as a whole was kind of weird during 2024.
Because P. Diddy be wanting to party, and you gotta tell him no.
Diddy's Los Angeles and Miami mansions raided by SWAT teams.
Baby oil, more than 1,000 bottles altogether. Combs allegedly planned and controlled the sex performances, which he called freak-offs.
Mr. Combs allegedly threatened to eat Mr. Jones's face in order to get what he wants.
This version of Biden, intellectually, analytically, is the best Biden ever.
I wouldn't have picked Vice President Trump to be vice president until I think she was not qualified to be president. Who am I introducing next? Who's next? Ladies and gentlemen, President Putin. President Putin. Who's going to beat President Putin?
There you go. If you want to really see something that's said, take a look at what happened.
12 seconds later.
The gunman was actually identified as a person of interest 62 minutes before the first shots were fired.
Should that roof have been secure, period?
That building in particular has a sloped roof at its highest point. And so, there's a safety factor that would be considered there, that we wouldn't want to put somebody up on a sloped roof.
Battle Director of the Secret Service, Kimberly Cheadle, resigned today.
Do you smell it? That smell. The kind of smelly smell. A smelly smell that smells smelly.
The next day.
Let's do it.
Eventually,
Trump has won the state of Wisconsin, which means he is the winner of this race and will return to the White House as this country's 47th president.
Okay, I may have gotten a little carried away just there, but you get the idea. Now let's get back to the video. The craziest thing I experienced this New Year's is that for the first time in my adult life, I had reached the end of a year and actually been genuinely proud of myself, and even shocked about what I'd accomplished in the last 12 months. Every other New Year's before this had kind of been depressing because I never made any real big changes that I am to make. All I had to be proud of the last few years was the fact I kept reading books and learning new things. But other than that, I progressed very little with each passing year. But 2024 was different. So how did I actually change? Well, I hit a low point in my life, realised that weed was making all aspects of my mental health worse, which then made my life worse, and so I decided right then and there to get sober. I could go into detail in another video maybe, so if you're interested in hearing the full story in more detail, let me know in the comments. But for the sake of brevity, I'll leave it for another time. The basic gist of this story arc in my life was this. I hit a low point, picked myself up, realised I needed to get sober in order to really change, got sober, which then had a snowball effect on every aspect of my life that led to me gradually making big changes. That's it. Clearly it's simpler in theory than it is in real life, but it's what happened to me. So if you're going through a dark time in your life right now, or you've been stuck in a rut for however long, and you truly feel lost and hopeless, it's alright, dude. We all have dark times in our lives, and it's normal to feel shit about it. We're humans, and humans have emotions built into them, and there's not much you can do about it. Unless you drill a hole in your brain, but that might not work out for you. But if you're struggling right now, and you're in a situation in life that you don't want to be in, you have to pick yourself up, and you have to take action. It sounds super cliche, and it's repeated on videos like this all the goddamn time, but it's true. Nobody else, and I mean literally nobody else, is going to save you. Nobody else is going to make the changes in your life that you want to make. Nobody else is going to create the changes within your mind and body that you want to make. Nobody else is going to transform you into the person you want to be. Only you can do that. If you're still watching, I'm going to assume that you're in a dark place right now. And if what I'm assuming is right, then the next step for you is to figure out what you need to do next in order to start the process of personal growth that will positively impact your life. What do you need to change? What do you need to give up? What do you need to start or stop doing? Find just one thing that you know deep down you shouldn't be doing. Maybe it's multiple things, but for now just focus on one thing that you want to change. Then, once you've figured out what that one thing is, start taking action towards that thing. If you stick to it, your life will improve, I guarantee it. Anyway, that's all I had to say for now about what I overcame and achieved last year. Now I want to talk about what I aim to achieve this year as a way to kind of keep me accountable. First off, I want to get ripped. I'm already in somewhat decent shape for someone who looked scrawny and malnourished just 12 months ago, but I'm nowhere near as jacked as I want to be. I'm talking ripped like this.
Lunch, Lady Doris. Have you got any grease?
Yes, we do.
Then grease me up, woman!
Or this.
They won't stop me from delivering these UNICEF pennies. Go, pennies! Help the puny children who need you.
So I can literally crush the skulls of people who've crossed me in the past with my bare hands. Just kidding. But that brings me to my next goal. I want to get rid of my bitterness and resentment towards my past and the people from my past who crossed me. It's pretty unhealthy to hold grudges for as long as I have, and if I don't sort it out soon, I'll seriously end up having a heart attack, or I'll end up attacking a homeless man and taking out all my anger on him just because I can. Kidding again. I want to sort out my finances and pay off all my buy now, pay later debts I racked up when I was like 18, because I don't want to end up like the homeless dude who I may or may not randomly assault at some point in the future. I want to be studying or have completed a disability support course by the end of the year so I can get a job I find meaningful that also pays well and lets me help the one group of people in this world I actually have sympathy for until I eventually go to uni in a couple of years. And finally, the last big goal that I want to achieve this year is I want to overcome my fear of rejection and timidity around women. And my goal is to use exposure therapy on myself to gradually get more and more comfortable approaching, talking to, and eventually dating girls I find attractive. This is a big one, and it's going to take the most amount of effort for me to achieve. But I'm willing to give it my all so I can live the type of life I actually want and not be a lonely bitch for the rest of my life. So they're the major big goals I want to achieve by the end of this year. I just thought I'd upload this and maybe it'll reach someone who's struggling like I was, and maybe it'll help them out, and I also get to help myself be more accountable with the goals I set for myself. If you stuck to the end, thanks brother. I wish you the best, and if you're going through something, just hang in there. If you really honestly work at improving your life and persevere through the dark times, you'll come out the other end of your suffering better, and your life will have improved. Like the video and subscribe if you liked it.